You're listening to Your Highest Self podcast episode bonus. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. My name is Shanae. I'm your host. Thank you so much for taking the time to invest in yourself and doing it with me today. In case this is your first time listening, this is a bonus episode. And I'm a retired WBFF bikini pro, and I'm here to help you on your journey to your highest self with personal development tools, skills, and knowledge to help you go from a self-conscious nobody to a self-confident leader in your life. So, the reason why I wanted to bring you a bonus episode this week is because I wanted to just further support you during this crisis that we're experiencing as a global community. So as you guys know, I am a life coach, and one of my main intentions, like my main job, is to really like show you how resilient you can be when you have the right tools and knowledge to leverage your mindset and perspective. So right now, I think we are really sort of being forced to look within. We're being forced to face our shadows. We're being forced to face our patterns, and we can either buffer and do nothing with this time, or we can really look within and we can heal and we can grow from this. So today I wanted to talk to you about how to choose calm over chaos. I feel like the initial chaos of the pandemic has gone down, where like everyone was really antsy, and I'm in the Bay in California, the USA, and we've been now on lockdown. Like this is going, we're at the end of week 2. And so the initial chaos is down, but I think that there's going to be another surge of chaos probably next week because the uncertainty is still there. Like we're still not sure how long we have to stay home. More countries and more states in the United States are being put into shelter in place and quarantine. So things are just shutting down. Even like parks are now being shut down because there are way too many people gathering outside instead of practicing social distancing. So I think that our chaos is going to come in waves. I think we're going to feel kind of like grounded and calm and feel like we're doing okay. And then it's just going to hit us out of nowhere. So I wanted to teach you how you can choose calm over chaos, because it definitely is a choice. And we're going to learn how to do that using the thought model. So the thought model. If you don't know the thought model, head back to episode, which one was it? It was just a recent one. How to create any result you want, episode 37, to get a high level overview. Oh my God, I can't talk. A high level overview of what the thought model is. In that episode, I use it to get to your goals and get any results that you want, but listen to it so you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the thought model. So when you look at the thought model, you know that circumstances will trigger a thought. So circumstances are all the things that happen outside of ourselves. Maybe that's other people's actions, what someone said, the politics, weather, coronavirus, the world. Like those are all circumstances. When your circumstances trigger a thought, that thought is what creates your experiences. So circumstances alone do not create our experiences. Our thoughts about circumstances create our experiences. So while you might feel panic about the virus spreading, and you might feel like it's the virus that's making you panic, it's actually not. It's your thought about the virus that's causing this panic within you. Super, super, super important to understand. And it's just going to be so helpful for you to be able to choose calm when you understand that it's your thought about something that creates your experience. However, being able to be aware of our thoughts is the catalyst for being able to choose calm over chaos. So if you don't know what your thoughts are, then you're going to have a really hard time managing your mindset, right? So there are a couple of tools that I'm going to teach you on how to be able to be aware of your thoughts. So what it is, it's called being mindful. So the definition of mindfulness is defined as a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations, used as a therapeutic technique. So when we start to build mindfulness into our lives, we're able to be aware of that choice before our reaction to a thought or like to an experience. Does that make sense? So for example, when I talk about mindful eating, so mindful eating is one of the things that I teach my clients who go through like the reset program for food and body. How can we start to create mindfulness around our eating? Because a lot of times people think that, oh, like my action on eating this thing is like I can't control it, it just happens. Well, no, there is actually a moment between what you think and what you do, and that's called like being mindful. So being able to create mindfulness around your eating behaviors is going to help with your binging and emotional eating. Being able to create mindfulness about your thoughts is going to help you be aware about what thoughts you're thinking. So one acronym I found online that I wanted to share with you is called STOP. So the S, stop whatever you're doing now. T, take a breath and reconnect to your body. O, observe what's happening now in your body, what thoughts and feelings you're having, what sounds you hear around you. And P, proceed with what you're doing. So I recommend setting an alarm like maybe twice a day just to remind you to like stop and do this. It sounds easy, right? Literally all you're doing is stopping and observing. Okay, how do I feel? What's happening in my body right now? What am I thinking? And then you proceed with your day. So what you're doing is just building in some more mindful moments. If you wanted to do this with your eating, same thing, you just schedule in, I actually recommend 3 alarms between your meals where the alarm goes off and you just check in with yourself. How am I feeling? Am I hungry? Do I need to eat? Am I bored? Am I thirsty? All this does is it creates a high level of awareness, around how you're feeling, and then with the food example, with if you're actually hungry or not. So how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you are able to create some mindfulness in your day to day, it's going to transfer over to your eating habits and vice versa. Some more examples or kind of tips I have for you around your eating is to practice eating slower, chewing your food, tasting the taste, stopping between bites, putting your fork down, and just being really present with your meals. So that means not having any distractions like your phone, a book, or a TV going on in the background. So small habits like this really, really, really help build your mindfulness muscle so that if a panic thought about the world does pop into your head, you have that habit built in of pausing and getting present with yourself to ask yourself if this thought is really true for you. Okay, so the last tool to build mindfulness into your day is meditation and breathing. I had a really hard time starting a meditation practice in the very beginning, and I think it's because I had so many expectations about what I thought meditation would be or like what it would do for me, and I thought that I needed to clear my head and I wasn't allowed to think things, but it really isn't the case. Meditation and like breath work, which are kind of 2 different things I'll tell you about each, it just trains your mind to be able to be present. That's all it is. You don't have to clear your mind completely. It doesn't mean that you get to a state of enlightenment. It really is just building that awareness and mindfulness muscle of being able to stay present with your breath. On Instagram, I shared a breathing box exercise, which is a breath work tool. So it's not really meditation, but what it is that say you are feeling an initial moment of panic, you can use the breathing box to bring you back to the present. So imagine a box and you're going to inhale for 4 seconds. So one side of the box, and then you're going to actually hold that inhale for another 4 seconds. And then you're going to exhale for 4 seconds. And then you're going to hold that exhale for another 4 seconds. And that's actually the really important part, because if you are feeling panic, if you are feeling, flight, fight, or freeze, that's what happens to us when we feel unsafe, is we do one of those 3 by using the breathing box and holding that exhale the key part is holding that exhale. That actually brings your body to a parasympathetic state. So that's what calms you down. Deep inhales, sucking in air does not calm you down. It's the exhale and holding that exhale a little bit longer that really cues your body that you're safe. I don't know why, it's science. It just works. Take my word for it. So anyhow, if you are feeling any of those sensations, flight, fight, or freeze, just remember it's completely normal. It's a trauma response. And remember that breathing box exercise. And I promise, like, you will be able to bring yourself back to a place where you can choose calm. Um, More than anything, I just want to remind you to please be kind to yourself. If you found yourself stress eating, or if you found yourself not exercising or going back to old habits, or like waking up at noon, like, it's okay. Recognize that this is just a way that you've learned to cope, and that's what your mind is doing to protect you. Okay? It's just a protection mechanism. Don't think of it as self-sabotage. Think of it as self-protection. And you can go back and listen to that episode. We're doing lots of flashbacks today. What episode is that? That one, it's a really good one. Episode 10, we self-sabotage, self-protect. And I actually go through a three-step process to overcome it, which, let's talk about that next week on Instagram. Anyhow, what else was I going to say? I wanted to share with you. So you're not alone if any of this stuff happens. I just wanted to, again, remind yourself to be kind to yourself. I had a moment of panic last week when I had to cancel all my gym sessions and just felt really sad for all of the businesses that had to close. And a lot of people I know have lost a lot of money, and it's a really uncertain and crazy time. So it's definitely okay if your trauma responses are happening and you're binge eating a little bit and you're not exercising and you're just like buffering and sleeping a lot. Like I said, recognize that it's a way that you cope, and then meet yourself with compassion. Once you can meet yourself with compassion, once you can be kind and loving to yourself, from there, then you can choose to do something about it. Then you can choose differently. Then you can decide to choose calm. Then you can decide to choose to do something that's going to make you feel better. Then you can decide to be in charge of your mind instead of letting it be in charge of you. But you cannot do that until you're nice to yourself. Like, it literally will not work. You've got to have an active acceptance for yourself in the state that you're in if you want to make any positive changes moving forward. So all these decisions that you want to make, it just starts with a thought. So any kind of actions that you're doing that you feel like are self-sabotaging, those are all triggered by a thought. So get out your journals, do some inner work, write down what you're thinking, do a couple thought models, and really figure out what the root of your kind of like your problems are. So next episode, we're going to talk about how to feel our feelings. Because if we go down the thought model, we just talked about thoughts and circumstances. The next is feelings. I've heard from some people that they really don't want to journal right now, or they don't want to like meditate or do any of that stuff because they're really scared about how they're going to feel. So that's what we're going to talk about. What else was I going to say? Yes. Yeah. Some people just don't want to feel sad. They don't want to feel the anxiety and the panic, and they're really scared to go there. So that's what we're going to talk about. Sending you all so much love. If you need any support, come hang out with me in the secret Facebook group or over on Instagram. I'm also considering putting together a membership. I wasn't going to do this until the summer, like June, but if you are feeling as if you need more support and more community, I got a lot of really good feedback about the virtual retreat that we did on Sunday. And we had like 20 people show up. It was a really good time, and everyone felt like it really helped them reset, and they got their morning routines and they got their evening routines, and they're doing so good on their self-care. So if that is something that you desire, come on over to Instagram and send me a DM. It'll be really like financially feasible so that we can all come together and support each other during this time. And if you just need my brain to help you with your thought models, that's what I'm here for. So it would be like a mindset makeover membership. So anyways, I've had this idea for all year. And again, like I said, I wasn't going to do it until the summer, but if this is something that you feel like you need right now, let me know. And if there is a need for it, we'll do it ASAP. So I'll see you guys in a few days. I think the next bonus episode will come out actually tomorrow. And then we'll be on our normal, regular routine starting on Monday again. With sending you guys so much love. Don't forget to be your highest self. Bye for now.